This is the claim to fame, one of them for you, the NCAA select team and the dream team as they were getting ready for the Olympics, as you mentioned. It's one of those basketball moments that diehard fans talk about in the pantheon of sports history at this point. The select team, just to refresh everybody's memory, made up of Jamal Mashburn, Chris Webber, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Allen Houston, Bobby Hurley, Eric Montross, and Rodney Rogers, coached by Roy Williams. They took on this group that would be known as the Dream Team that had a few guys you might have heard of: Christian Laettner, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Chris Mullin, Charles Barkley, oh, and Magic Johnson. Not a
Yeah,
bad group of players.
yeah.
So they decide that, like you said, Chuck Daly wants to get the guys ready for the Olympics, and he puts a match together, a game. It was 20 minutes. Bobby Hurley, braces and all, getting to the rim at will. Chris Webber dominated the game against these guys, so much so that Larry Bird said he better get out of the league if guys like this are coming in. Scottie Pippen said the guys just didn't know how to play with each other yet. The select team wins, and Chuck Daly makes sure to erase the score off the scoreboard prior to the media getting in. But the news made rounds quickly because the players started talking about it. I think it was Larry Bird who said, listen, there's some kids on this college team that probably deserve to be on this Olympic team. What was it like seeing that game? Take me back to those
Yeah.
unreal 20 minutes, and what was your immediate reaction to the outcome? Because we'll get to the controversy afterwards.
Well, they flew us all out, San Diego, as I said, and they put us on a beautiful resort hotel with a golf course right there where they play the PGA Tour event in San Diego. And they put us in the same wing as the NBA players. It was NBA got a single room, and there'd be a double room with the college guys, and it went down throughout the whole hallway. And the Celtics trainer, who was the Dream Team trainer, and our rooms were next door to each other. So we practiced as a team for 2 whole days at San Diego State University in preparation for these games. And then the morning of the event came, and I brought my camera everywhere. So I've got behind the scenes pictures. There's nobody following the college guys. I've got behind the scenes pictures when George Raveling and Coach Williams came out and they told, okay, you've got Magic Johnson, Bobby Hurley, you've got Chris Mullin. And the look on their faces like, what did I get myself into? Just sitting there with their heads like this, really quiet. So we gave them lunch at the facility, boarded a bus, drove to the arena where the game was going to be played. Well, Coach Daly wasn't ready for us yet. And we were not allowed to go on the court and watch them practice. They made them feel like second class citizens. They put us upstairs in this arena that was where they stored the gymnastics equipment. And they kept us up there for like an hour. But there was a big glass window overlooking the court, and our players are watching them work out. And they got madder and madder and madder, like, what are we doing here? And then they finally call us down on the court. And believe it or not, I am the only person in that arena with a camera. There's no press. There's somebody across the court filming this scrimmage for the game. And I've got this little digital camera and I've got it snuck on between my legs on the court. And if they move down this way, I'm taking pictures. If they move that way, I'm taking pictures of the game. And I've got pictures that are incredible. So much so that a person who wrote a book about the Dream Team and that event found out that I had pictures of it and requested them, and they included my pictures since they were the only ones of the games in his book. And then with about 30 seconds to go, I heard Daly go to midcourt and he told the scorers table, the managers there, when this game is over, I want that scoreboard to go to 00. So I took a picture of the scoreboard. So I've got that. What a great experience.
So after the game,
Yeah.
and allegedly years later, Coach K, who was an assistant with Chuck Daly, says that Chuck threw the game on purpose. Michael Jordan basically didn't play. He didn't make adjustments. And he did so, Coach K said, so that Chuck Daly could send a message and use it as fuel for the team moving forward that basically, hey, you guys can get beat at any time by anybody. Ron, from what you saw with your own eyes and your digital camera, did you see that in real time? Do you buy it? Or do you think that's a little bit of spin and conjecture after the fact to try and save face?
Yeah, that definitely spin and conjecture. I know our guys went out there with a little bit of fire. The Dream Team really didn't. Now they were doing nothing between the end of the NBA season and this event in June. They were on the golf course playing every day. They weren't really in the greatest of playing shape. And Allen Houston, I think, hit 6 threes over Larry Bird. And Larry was so upset that he did not leave the arena for 2 or 3 hours. He took Roy Williams' son, and all he did was shoot jump shots for 2 or 3 hours. He came back to the hotel like a cripple, and he didn't play the rest of the time because he hurt his back. He was so upset about his performance that day. Now, if you were throwing a game and you weren't taking it, you're not sticking around for 3 hours putting up jump shots. And our kids were just a little half a step quicker to those guys, beating them the loose balls. They played flawlessly that day. I got to admit, they played flawlessly throughout the whole game. And then
Now,
after the game, Chuck Daly tells the players, the NBA tells everybody, I don't want a word of this game being discussed with the press. So with that, Craig Miller, who's the press director for USA Basketball, they let in the hundreds of press, and all's going good for about 5 or 10 minutes until Barkley is the one that said, "We got our asses kicked today. These kids are for real. They should be going instead of us. If we weren't going, they'd still win the gold medal." Well, once that hit, all hell broke loose with the press, and every Dream Team member told them how good we played, and they actually lost the game. Nobody there said, hey, we took it easy on them, stuff like that. Now, after the game, we go back to the hotel, and our kids are jumping in the swimming pool, they're going nuts. And Barkley is in his room getting rest, and he comes out and he tells the players, knock it down. And that night, they're all in there playing cards in their rooms. And Barkley, all of a sudden, I hear this bash on the door, and it's Barkley almost kicking in the door of the college kids. He said, I suggest you get some sleep tonight. There's going to be an ass whooping on the court tomorrow. And the players just looked at each other, and sure enough, it was. The next day was totally different.
right, there was a rematch the next day.
Yeah.
Charles said that they beat him by basically 100 points. And he said that they basically didn't let him score the next time. Patrick Ewing was like, hey, we showed him why we are who we are. Now, it seems like that was true, but what was that rematch like?
We went out there and this, I think the score was like 24-2 or 4 within the first 3 or 4 minutes. Chuck Daly said, okay, let's set the clock back to 20 minutes, put the score back to 0-0, and let's start again. Maybe the college guys were nervous. By then, the next 20 minutes were worse. It was a bloodbath out there. And because of that, a lot of the NBA guys took the college guys under the wings and really appreciated, them being pushed. And, that's when the great moment, and I've got a picture of this. Here's Magic Johnson and Bird, and the guys are in a secluded hallway. And out of the corner of my ear, I hear, why are you staying in college, young man? You'd be a star in the league right now. And that's Magic talking to Weber. So with that, I take my camera and I snap the picture at the moment they're discussing it. What a great scene, the people, never knew about.
What was it like for you to see Chris Mullen with Team USA after you obviously got to see him from 81 to 84 at St. John's? I mean, was it surreal for you to see the kind of player that he became to be on this team with Michael and Magic and Bird? And he was there holding his own and, just being there to represent his country at that level.
Yeah, one thing that really I think solidified my friendship with Chris is the first day there in training camp, and we're setting up the training room there, the Celtics training room, myself, and it was really for the NBA guys, not the college guys. And in walks Pat Ewing, and Pat knew me from my St. John's days, and he says hello, shakes my hand, and then Chris comes in, and then Jordan walks in, and then Magic walks in. Before you know it, the whole team's in there, and they're kind of like looking at me like, "Who's this guy?" And Chris, in front of everybody, said, "This is my guy. This is my trainer from St. John's. No, I wouldn't be here today if he didn't take great care of me during my 4 years at St. John's." So the players now are looking at me a little bit different, like, you know, you're part of the family now, and it made me feel great. I sat in that room for the next 2 hours listening to Jordan give it to Ewing, Ewing dishing it to Mullen. Hey, we beat you in the Final Four. Jordan giving it back to Ewing. Yeah, we beat you in '82 in the national championship, and all the players just going back, ragging on each other. And I just sat there like a church mouse, sitting in my chair, soaking all this in. It was one of my greatest days ever.
It's amazing. We talk about, God, what would it be like to be a fly on the wall to some of these amazing moments that you only hear about? You
Oh,
were the fly. You
yeah,
were
sure
there
was.
for it. I mean, it's just unbelievable. The pictures, I've seen some of them. Hopefully, you'll share some more, and we'll post them after this for all the fans to see as well.
Yeah, one thing, Dave, that USA Basketball really wanted me to do, being with them for like 7 years now, is they knew that I knew how to take care of my players. And before I flew out to San Diego, I got a check for $10,000. And they said, Ron, we want you to wine and dine these college guys. We feel bad they're not going to the Olympics. Any way that you can make them feel better, we really appreciate. So I took them to the best five-star restaurants in San Diego, got them limos. We went on the PGA golf course. Here's Michael Jordan. He's having a helicopter fly in on the golf course to pick him up to go play at Pebble. And our kids, everything was be like Mike. So I brought all the kids to the golf course, rented carts, rented clubs, rented shoes. I was like Rodney Dangerfield in the Caddyshack. Give me 10 balls, 18 clubs, blah blah blah, and 18 naked lady tees. And we just took them out to play golf because they wanted to be. They most of them never played golf before, but they had the best day. We had a refreshment cart follow us the whole time, carte blanche, whatever you want. They just had a fabulous time. It really made for a great experience for those guys being out there.
Amazing, absolutely amazing.